We open on a cold, heavy night. Andy Dufresne, a quiet and methodical banker, sits alone in his car, destroying the worst moment of his life. His wife, her affair, and a gun resting in his hand. Not long after, a courtroom judge declares him guilty of murder. Despite Andy's calm insistence of innocence, he's sentenced to 2 consecutive life terms at Shawshank State Penitentiary. From here, the story becomes less about crime, and more about survival, humanity, friendship, and hope. Shawshank rises like a stone giant, gray, merciless, and cold. New prisoners walk in trembling, unsure of how much of themselves they will lose within these walls. Watching them from the yard is Ellis "Red" Redding, a long-timer known as the man who can get things. Red is our guide through this world, a man few who understand Shawshank's real currency: favors, connections, and patience. When Andy arrives, Red is immediately curious. Andy doesn't look like a hardened criminal. He looks quiet, fragile even, but there's something in the eyes, not fear, but a strange calmness. That first night, Shawshank tests its new arrivals. The stone walls echo with cries, and seasoned inmates place bets on who will break first. But Andy? He stays silent. He holds his tears, leaving the old-timers wondering if he's unbreakable, or already broken inside. Life in Shawshank becomes a clockwork cycle for Andy: laundry duty, head counts, meals, lights out. But Andy watches quietly. He observes the guards, the routines, the small spaces where dignity still exists. He crosses paths with a dangerous group of inmates known as the Sisters, led by Boggs Diamond. They target Andy daily, testing him. Andy suffers. He survives. And through this, Red begins to respect him more, seeing a quiet endurance most men don't have. One day, Andy approaches Red with a simple request: a small rock hammer. Just for his hobby, he says. Red is amused. Most men ask for cigarettes or posters. Andy asks for tools, stones, and time, a large movie poster. Red begins to understand. Andy is not just living in Shawshank. He's building something inside himself. Working in the prison laundry exposes Andy to danger repeatedly. But his fortune shifts during a work detail on the roof. Andy overhears Captain Hadley, one of Shawshank's most intimidating guards, complaining about taxes on an inheritance. Quietly, and at great personal risk, Andy offers financial advice to avoid the tax-burden headache. In a place where prisoners are invisible, Andy's intelligence suddenly makes him valuable. From that moment, guards begin seeking Andy out for tax forms, savings plans, and complicated paperwork. Andy becomes something rare in Shawshank: useful. With this new trust, Andy is granted a position assisting Brooks Hatlin, the elderly prison librarian. The library is tiny, neglected, and barely functional. But Andy sees potential. He begins writing letters, week after week, demanding books, records, and funds to rebuild it. Most men give up after a few rejections. Andy keeps going. Slowly, the library grows. Brooks finds purpose in helping Andy discover new materials, and Andy becomes a teacher of sorts, helping prisoners earn diplomas and learn skills they never had a chance to develop. But there's more happening beneath the surface. Brooks, who has been institutionalized for decades, becomes deeply attached to his life running the library. His world is the only one he trusts. But Shawshank moves forward whether a man is ready or not, and when Brooks is paroled after so many years inside, it's clear he is not prepared for the outside world. His tragic struggle leaves an enormous impact on Andy, and on Red. Red begins to understand what Andy has been fighting against all along: the slow death of hope, the gradual surrender to despair that Shawshank inflicts on every man who stays too long. Andy sees it differently. He sees time not as an enemy, but as a resource, something he can use, something he can shape with patience and persistence. This difference in perspective becomes clearer as Andy's influence in the prison grows. He doesn't just help individuals, he begins to quietly shift the atmosphere of Shawshank itself. One afternoon, Andy takes a bold risk. He locks himself in the warden's office and plays a recording of Mozart's The Marriage of Figaro over the prison's loudspeaker system. For 2 minutes, the entire yard falls silent. Hardened men stop mid-step, faces turned upward toward the speakers. Some close their eyes. Others weep quietly. Red later reflects on that moment. It was like some beautiful bird flapped into our drab little cage and made those walls dissolve away. And for the briefest of moments, every last man in Shawshank felt free. Andy pays dearly for this act, 2 weeks in solitary confinement. But he emerges unchanged, if anything more resolved. Red begins to see that Andy isn't just surviving Shawshank. He's resisting it in the most profound way possible, by refusing to let it take his inner life, his sense of beauty, his capacity to hope. Meanwhile, Andy is not in the prison deep ends. The warden, Samuel Norton, takes notice. A man who preaches the Bible but rules with fear, Norton sees Andy's financial expertise as a powerful tool. Under Norton's control, Andy is pressured into helping with complex accounting work, laundering money, falsifying records, and managing secret funds tied to prison labor programs. Andy hates it. But refusal brings punishment. So he plays along, hiding his resentment behind polite obedience. All the while, Red watches quietly, nothing that Andy is changing. Growing sharper. More determined. More quietly rebellious. Years continue to pass. Shawshank remains the same. But Andy does not. One day, a new inmate arrives, Tommy Williams, a young, energetic man with a restless spirit. Tommy brings life to the yard, jokes, stories, and a kind of spark Shawshank rarely sees. Tommy and Andy form a surprisingly close bond, and Andy becomes a mentor to him, helping Tommy learn to read and preparing him for the GED exams. But Tommy brings more than enthusiasm. He brings information, a story, a past resurfacing through pure coincidence. A story that could change everything. At every past cigarette, Andy shows himself impatient, more urgent than before. For the first time in years, Andy allows himself to feel something dangerous, hope. But Shawshank is a place where hope threatens power. And those in power, especially Warden Norton, refuse to let go of anything that benefits them. What happens next is a crushing reminder that Shawshank doesn't just confine bodies, it tries to cage souls. Andy begins to retreat inward. He speaks less. Smiles less. Becomes even quieter than usual, almost too calm. Red becomes worried, sensing something underneath Andy's silence, something brewing. During one conversation, Andy tells Red about a dream, a place by the ocean, a town called Zihuatanejo, where the water is blue and the sand is warm. He talks about what freedom might look like, how a man could rebuild a life from nothing. Red finds Andy's excitement unnerving, but also final. Red fears Andy is giving up. The night ends heavy with unease, as if both men know something is coming but can't bring themselves to say it. Then, one morning, Shawshank explodes into chaos. Alarms echo through the prison. Guards shout. Officers run up and down the tiers. Something has happened, something no one understands. The center of attention? Andy Dufresne's empty cell. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this recap, make sure to like this video, share it with friends, and subscribe for more movie recaps. Drop a comment letting me know what other films you'd like me to cover. I'll see you in the next one.